practice converting units using a method that's called dimensional analysis. This is a very, very important concept in chemistry, and you're going to use it throughout the rest of the school year. So we're going to start off early with it, start kind of easy, and work our way into more advanced problems. Because when we get into the concept of stoichiometry, you're going to need this tremendously to help cancel out units. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's talk about the rules for dimensional analysis. Alright, here are the rules. There's only a couple of them. Alright, so rule 1 is let's write down all numbers as fractions. Okay, let's write all numbers with their units. Make sure we have no naked numbers. You don't want naked numbers lying around. A naked number is just a number that's unitless. Okay, let's arrange all of our conversion factors so that the units will cancel out. Alright, any number on top or in the numerator, you're going to hit the multiply sign and you're going to multiply all the numbers together. Any number that's in the bottom or the denominator, it is always going to be divided. Alright, so let's just jump into it and start converting these. Alright, so I'll show you how I would like you to do it for my class. Alright, let's convert 18 inches to centimeters. So make sure you have your conversion sheet handy so you can look at the equivalences to create your conversion factor. Alright, first thing is let's write down what you know and let's put it over 1. Okay, so we know we have 18 inches and let's write that over 1. Okay, now we are going to multiply it by some type of conversion factor, and we're going to create that conversion factor from our equivalence sheet. Okay, so what I'm talking about, or what I'm trying to say is, look for something that relates inches to centimeters. We know 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters, okay? So you're going to write it so the units cancel out. When units cancel out, you have a unit on top cancels with a unit on the bottom. Okay? What you have to do now is just simply write the numbers that go along with it. So 2.54 on top and 1 inch on the bottom. Now, to do the math, you just simply multiply across. Here's the numerator. Any number on top you multiply, any number on the bottom you divide. So you take 18 times 2.54 divided by 1 divided by 1. And when you get that, okay, our answer is going to be about 45.72 centimeters. Alright, let's try this next conversion. Let's convert 150 pounds to kilograms. So, first rule is let's write down what we know and put it over 1. Okay, so we have 150 pounds over 1, and we are trying to convert that to kilograms. Okay, let's look on our conversion sheet to see if we have something that relates pounds to kilograms. Well, when you look under the mass section, you know that 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. Okay, now I'm trying to get the pounds to cancel out. So when you're trying to cancel something, it's always going to go in the bottom if your unit is in the numerator. So I want the number associated with pounds to go over here. Let's go ahead and write 2.2 pounds on the bottom, and let's write 1 kilogram on top. Okay, and if I did this correctly, my pound unit will cancel on top with the pound unit on the bottom. Now all I have to do is simply do the arithmetic. Okay, so any number on top, right here, is multiplied across. So you take 150 times 1, that's still 150, divided by 1, that's still 150, divided by 2.2. Okay, now you simply could have just take 150 divided by 2.2, and then when you do that, you get the number of 68.2 kilograms. So my answer is 68.2 kilograms. Alright, let's take a look at a next conversion factor. Alright, let's convert 77 kilograms to grams. Alright, let's convert 77 kilograms to grams. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 77 over 1. Okay, and then I'm going to look at my conversion factor or conversion sheet and see what relates kilograms to grams. So I'm going to go ahead and write down the conversions up here. So I know there's 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. Okay, so I know 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, and I'm going to multiply it by a conversion factor. Now, remember, this is the equivalence right here that relates kilograms to grams, and I'm going to say, okay, which one of these units is going to go on the top, which one's going to go on the bottom? Well, I want grams, so that, remember, the unit you want when you do a single dimensional analysis problem is always going to be on top, the one you want. The one you're trying to cancel out is going to go on the bottom. You see right here, your unit cancels and you're left with the unit you want. Alright, so I'm going to put 1,000 up here and 1. So I take 77 times 1,000 and I get 77,000 grams. Okay, that's not that bad. That was a pretty easy one. Let's try to do another one. Okay, let's convert 12 meters to centimeters. Okay, so let's write down my conversion just to help us out in case you're kind of lost. So we're going to be looking under either the metric system, under length, or you're going to look under distance for this one. Okay, we know in 1 meter that equals 100 centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to write down 12 meters over 1, multiply it by a conversion factor. I want centimeters, that's the unit I want, that's going to go on top. Meters I'm trying to cancel out, so it's going to go on the bottom. And I'm going to write down the numbers with it. So 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Multiply the units on top, divide by the units, or multiply by the numbers on top, divide by the numbers on the bottom, and I'm going to get 1,200 centimeters. And that is my answer for this problem. Alright, here comes a little bit more of a complicated one. Now, for some of you, I have the direct relationship between centimeters and feet. Whilst if I don't, for those of you who don't have that on their conversion sheet, let's talk about how we would attempt this problem. So let's pretend that we do not see the direct relationship or the equivalence given for us for this. Alright, I'm going to try to convert 17.3 centimeters to feet. But you kind of have to see, okay, what does centimeters and feet both have? It's kind of like, what do they both have in common? Well, they both have inches. I can convert centimeters to inches and then inches to feet. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to convert from centimeters to inches, then inches I'm going to go to feet. So let's try and see how this works, okay? So I put 17.3 centimeters, write it over 1, and let's multiply that. Let's try to convert centimeters to inches. So I'm going to put centimeters on the bottom, inches on top, and let's go ahead and write in the numbers. We know in 1 inch, there's 2.54 centimeters. Okay, and if I did this correctly, my centimeter on top in the numerator will cancel with my centimeter on the bottom in the denominator. Now, let's act like we just started and let's convert inches to feet. So you can just keep on going. You can keep having multiple conversion factors. That's what's nice about dimensional analysis. You're just converting from one unit to another unit. Alright, now let's convert inches to feet. We know that the equivalence for that is in 1 foot, okay, there are 12 inches. Alright, and my inches cancel out. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up my calculator. Alright, here's my handy dandy TI-83 calculator, and let's go ahead and look at how I would do the math here. Now we know 17.3 is on top, so I'm going to put in 17.3 on my calculator, multiply it by 1, multiply it by 1, because remember, anything on top up here is always multiplied. Now, I'm going to divide by everything on the bottom. So 17.3 divided by 1, still the same answer. If there's ones, you just leave them alone. Okay, act like they're not there when we do multiplication or division. Now, 2.54, that's on the bottom, so I'm going to hit the divide sign, 2.54. Now, I have this 12 right here. Do not, whatever you do, never, never, never multiply numbers on the bottom. If you have a goofy calculator or not a non-scientific calculator, you can get a wrong number or wrong answer. Make sure you hit the divide again by 12, and then you hit enter, and that is your answer. Let's go ahead and round that number. Oh, let's say to 3 sig figs. Let's say 0.568 feet. All right, let's go ahead and let's convert 207 milliliters to liters. Okay, so I'm going to write down 207 over 1. Make sure you have the milliliters with the unit. Don't want a naked number. And let's go ahead and find our conversion factor that relates milliliters and liters. So we know milliliters is going to go on the bottom, so I want to get it canceled, and liters is going to go on top. There's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. Take 207 times 1, divided by 1,000, and that equals 0.207 liters. All right, for this next unit conversion, we're trying to convert 1,259 inches to miles. Now, there's no direct correlation between inches and miles, so we have to come up with a game plan to kind of relate what can we go from here to here. Well, if we take inches, let's convert that to feet. We can convert feet to miles. Okay, so there is the kind of the path that we're going to take. This is our game plan up here. Let's convert inches to feet and feet to miles. Okay, so let's go ahead and write 1,259 inches over 1, and let's convert that to feet. We know we want inches to go on the bottom so the units cancel out, and we want feet on top because that's what unit we want. So there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Okay, once we're in the unit we want, let's go ahead and convert that unit to the one we want. So we want to get rid of feet, so we're going to put this feet unit on the bottom. And when you look at your equivalent sheet, you're going to notice that miles is going to go on top, and in 1 mile we have 5,280 feet. Okay, so let's pull up our calculator again. All right, let's put this in our calculator. So we take 1,259 divided by 12 divided by 2,580 feet. Then you hit enter and you get your number. To round it to 2 sig figs, 0.01987. 0.01987. Now make sure when you do this, you always divide by 12. Remember, don't multiply anything on the bottom. If you do that, if you don't have a calculator that does order of operations, you're going to get the wrong answer. We don't want the wrong answer. Alright, now this one is kind of a fun problem. Okay, you don't really have any unit conversions, but this just takes common sense. We're trying to go from years to seconds. So we want 1 year, and let's convert that to seconds. Well, let's just go ahead and just play along with this. So we know in 1 year we have 365 days. Okay, and let's convert days to hours. So in 1 day there are 24 hours. Okay, we can convert hours to minutes. In 1 hour we have 60 minutes. Okay, and then you can convert that to seconds. So in 1 minute you have 60 seconds. Okay, and then if you do this correctly, all of your units should cancel out, and you are left with the unit you want. So what we're going to do is take 365 times 24 times 60 times 60. And when I multiply these numbers, I get a huge number. I get 3.15 times 10 to the 7th second. Okay, hopefully that helped you out. Happy converting.